these are the tools you'll need to change the motor in a 20,500 HS lifter. 13 millimeter socket, straight screwdriver, 10 millimeter open end wrench, M4 hex, and an M5 hex. Okay, first thing to do would be to take the handlebar off the mast, remove the power pack, loosen the bolts on the mast, which will be on the top part of the intermediate and the lower part of the intermediate, remove the mast, and then proceed to take the motor cover off. First thing we'll do is remove the handlebar. Next, we'll loosen the quick disconnect for the power pack, making sure it's been unplugged. Remove the power pack. .13 millimeter socket wrench will loosen the nuts above and below the upper intermediate. Then the mast can be removed. Now we'll orientate the intermediate so that we can access the motor cover. Two screws using the M4 hex. We'll remove those. First thing we'll do is disconnect the wiring of the motor. Notice the color of the wires as you disconnect, because we will be reconnecting these with your new motor. There's a grounding cable we have to take loose from the gear. Using the M5 hex. Then there are 3 screws using that M10 open end wrench. Remove the screws from the mounting plate. Then the motor can be removed. Once the motor has been removed from the intermediate, we need to remove the motor mounting plate, the shaft coupling assembly, and reassemble that to your new gear. Using snap ring pliers to remove the snap ring from the shaft at the bottom of the gear. We remove the shaft coupling assembly. Now we'll remove the motor mounting plate with a 4 hex wrench. Notice the motor spacer ring. This will also have to be moved to your new gear. Okay. Assembling your new motor gear assembly. Orientate the motor when you're looking at it that the gear is all set to the right hand side. This would be the top surface of the motor gear assembly. First, we put the spacer ring back in place on top of the gear, aligning the mounting holes. Next, we put the motor plate. Notice the orientation of the angle of the plate. Next, we'll put the motor shaft coupling back in place. You have the keyways in the gear. Align those. Insert shaft. Replace retaining ring on bottom of the shaft. Make sure the ring seats in the groove of the shaft. Now you're ready to reassemble the motor to the intermediate. The motor offsets to the rear of the intermediate. Once all three screws have been started, proceed to tighten with open end 10mm wrench. Once the motor has been tightened, proceed with reconnecting motor cable and wires. Once connecting the wires back together, first connect the ground cable to the screw on the bottom of the gear, but you'll have to take off your old gear and place on the new one. Next, the white wire goes to the red. The black wire goes to the green. The yellow and brown wire can go to either one of the blue wires leading to the brake. Once again, on the brake, it does not matter which wire goes to which color. Blue to yellow, blue to brown. Make sure all connections are tight. Now the motor cover can be placed back on. Be sure that none of the cables will be pinched by the cover. If you have a narrow intermediate, you'll have two short screws that go on the bracket in the center. If you have a wider intermediate, there will be two tabs on each side of the motor cover with one screw each. If you have the narrow intermediate, the short screw will go to the rear of the lifter. Check to make sure no wires are hanging out from the cover. Put the intermediate back over. Proceed with assembling the mast to the lifter. There's a slot in the back of the mast that has to align with the bracket on the intermediate. Once the mast is on, you must make sure that the coupling is seated. You can do that by lifting up on the slide until mast is secure on the bottom intermediate flush. Now with a 13 millimeter socket, tighten the nuts on the back of the lifter, top of intermediate, bottom of the lifter. Now grab the quick disconnect bracket for the power pack, slide it down the slot with the lock nut down. Next, put the locking knob on. Now the power pack can be reassembled to the lifter. Plug the motor back into the power pack. Reassemble handlebar to mast. And hand control to handlebar.